Have you ever gone fishing in the northern U.S.? And if you have, how was your experience versus your home state?
Wow, I could talk about this for 4 hours, man. Up north, there's not as much structure.
Hmm.
So the fish congregate in tighter schools. And when you get on a school of bass, it's possible. Like when I would guide up north, I loved guiding Tuesday, Wednesdays, and Thursday evenings because there's about 6 people on the lake and there's going to be 200 people on the lake on Saturdays.
Hmm.
We could go down a riprap shoreline and pull 25 bass off that riprap shoreline. And you're talking 3 miles.
Wow.
And that's the night. We caught 25 bass okay, would you like to go walleye fishing for the last half hour? Sure. Let's go crappie fishing, get some eaters.
Hmm.
Down here, when I first started fishing down in Florida, my dad lived on the Harris Lake chain for 5 years. And man, I was there. I spent a lot of money going to the Harris Lake chain from Chicago. And I fished with one of his friends who was a competitive bass fisherman like me, and he said 1 bass a mile.
Mm.
But they were big. Well, not all of them, but you had a chance of getting a 10-pounder in the Harris Lake chain. So the bass are more spread out down here. You don't find tight schools like you do up north, and also smallmouth bass are just naturally schooling fish.
Hmm.
I've been pulling in a smallmouth bass in the springtime, and I had a rattle trap on, and there's three. I've seen 3, 4 smallmouth coming up and trying to grab that rattle trap out of its mouth. I love fishing up north. I miss the fishing up north. I miss walleyes. I miss smallmouth bass.
And it's a little cooler.
Yeah, it actually cools off in the evenings. That's nice. That's very nice.
Andrew says, if you fished multiple states, which is your favorite state besides your home state?
Well, Michigan, man, there's so many things you can do in Michigan. You can catch steelhead, you can catch salmon, you can catch inland trout, you can catch monster walleyes, monster smallmouth bass, and geez, there's a lake called Lake St. Clair where it has monster bass, some of the biggest walleyes you can possibly imagine.
Mm.
Sturgeon, if you're into that, I'm not into sturgeon. They're just too big.
Yeah, I've seen some people
Also,
catch those from
Wisconsin,
kayaks.
oh, jeez. Wisconsin, you got muskies, you got northern pike, you got smallmouth bass, you got walleyes. There's a lot of fun up north, man. I love that fishing. I get up there as much as I can. Of course, I have friends up there who are always glad to take me fishing.